10 seconds.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another new episode of Shooting People from the Deadbox.
Shooting people from the Deadbox. That's what everybody wanted. It's a week later than they wanted, but it was too fucking busy last week. There was so much shit going on after that tournament. But
Yeah,
this is our, I say coming off the ICPL. It is 2 weeks from the ICPL. 2 weeks after
1 week
the
from
ICPL.
that. Is it 1 week?
2 weeks from the ICPL. And
No.
well, okay. I'm saying like 2 weekends. Like yesterday was the end of the NPS, and the weekend before that was the CPSL, ICPL.
It's just 1 week.
That's
This is like day 8.
Yeah, it is like day, but it's like it's been
So
2
it's not 2 weeks
since-
there. 2 weeks would be the.
I mean,
this
yes,
weekend coming up.
that is technically right, but normally it would have been like. So I guess.
So 1 week after, we're 1 week after the ICPL.
Yeah,
Because the day after the ICPL will be a Monday.
For
And then,
recording, but when this goes out, it's going to be literally 2 weeks.
yeah, we're live though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean we're live, but when they get it, it's going to be 2 weeks.
Yeah, so welcome back to another view for the Deadbox, aka shooting people from the Deadbox.
Shooting people from the do people? I mean, all our teammates know you're Mr. Shooting from the Deadbox. I will say this: that story will be covered in today. That was very mild. Some people really don't know because we could really go back.
Yeah,
a week before that, and even the one that happened at our field, I would say is mild as well.
yeah.
So I'm trying to pull up here the ICPL stuff. I should have pulled it up beforehand. Yeah, my camera's going to turn on and off, so we'll just do that for people that watch on video. I don't even know what place we took. Oh, we did not take anywhere near dead last.
No, we're like middle of the pack.
Yeah. That makes me feel even better.
Yeah.
I haven't looked literally since that happened.
I think 17 out of 28 or something like that.
17 out of 27.
So yeah,
God.
which is sad because like the 4 pro teams we drew, which is crazy because most everybody else drew 3 pro teams.
Yeah.
But since we were in a 4-team bracket, we drew 4 pro teams. And I'm never that guy to go, well, we drew a hard bracket. But the pro teams we drew were like no bitch.
They were fucking studs.
Yeah. Team Image. We drew AC Dallas and Diesel, Ground Zero, and Annihilators.
Yeah, so, and Brimstone, which technically isn't a pro team, but
yeah.
But I put that in asterisks. That is, if they're not a pro team, I don't know what they took at this tournament. They took 8th. But it's also they lost, like there was Saberwolves in our bracket as well in open. Not in our bracket, I'm sorry, but just open in general.
Yeah.
But Brimstone is definitely can compete in the pro bracket and has.
Well, there were some pro teams that like I feel like our team could beat them 6-10.
Yeah, I agree.
There were some pro teams that were fucking dog shit at that event. And I'm like, why can't we draw any of these fucking bums? I'm like, these dudes are fucking terrible.
That's even what Tom Cole told us.
Yeah. Yeah, I tell him, I'm like, hey man, like, this is our first ICPL event, and I've talked to him several times in Excel, and he's always very down to earth. So I kind of want to just like touch base. I'm like, how does this work? How do the points work? And he's like, well, you guys kind of got a bad shit because this is technically an open event, even though they do separate the finals at the end and semis and stuff, but you will draw more pro teams than anybody because you're a 4-team bracket out of your 27 teams. He's like, we didn't expect to have 21 pro teams. We only expected to have 8. We have 20 plus. He's like, there are some pro teams here that are terrible. He's like, and then he said, well, what are your pro teams? And I told him, he's like, well, you actually didn't get any of those. He's like, there are some pro teams here that a lot of these amateur teams can easily beat. He's like, some of these pro teams are just not, they're there just playing pro to say they played pro. Yeah. But a lot of them are like D4, D5 guys,
And they maybe played pro paintball in the late 90s, early 2000s. Like
maybe.
Yeah.
But
that maybe is loose.
What the sad thing is like these games we lost to Image and AC Dallas and Diesel.
Yeah.
Like we were in the fucking game.
Yeah.
Like we went like body. Like first game ever on Mounds, we play against Team Image, which that's their fucking backyard, basically. They shot 3 of our guys in the break. We came back and battled all the fucking bodies right back.
Yep.
We had to a 5-on-5 situation when it was a 7-on-10 on the break. Like, we came right the fuck back. Like,
Yep.
And this is the Mounds. None of our guys played Mounds.
No, that's the first Mounds game I have ever played in my entire life, and I've played paintball for fucking half my life at this point. Like,
yeah, so it's crazy to think, and then we played AC Dallas and Diesel, and that's literally what they were. Yeah. And we were like running, we were like bang, 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 bang. Oh, yeah, I think they only had 3 bodies left at the end.
Yeah.
Like it was there. Like we were playing these really high-end pro teams and like right there fucking with them. I'm like,
if we got beat, I don't think we got beat by more than 3 bodies all weekend. You know what I mean?
I think that whole like wild shit at the end.
Yeah, well
we had guys getting.
That's a shitty call, is what that was.
Yeah,
we had 2 bad calls. It wouldn't have changed our outcome because in general,
no. And then the game prior to that on the it's called the hybrid field.
Yeah.
Truza gets pulled out for obvious splatter. Weston gets pulled out for obvious splatter, and then I get pulled out. And this is all the same ref, mind you, a female ref that is a quote unquote ref in training. They said she runs up and pulls me out. Like, and I already seen Daniel arguing that it was splatter on him. Mind you, we're on a half corrugated pipe, half pallet, half mound field. So it's splatter fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
She runs up and yells at me from my hopper. It is blatant spray on my hopper. Like, I'm standing behind a metal like container thing, like a jug, and it's like, and it has like boards under it, and they're beating up like 10 motherfuckers are shooting. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They're beating the piss out of that bunker. Spray is all over me. But it is obvious spray. Like, there are refs all around us who are watching me not moving because they know. She runs up and grabs me and it's like, play your hopper. And I'm like, I look at it. I'm like, this? She's like, yeah. I'm like, and I literally said, you're calling this a hit? She's like, yeah, come on. I said, are you serious? You're actually calling this a hit? She's like, yep, come on, you're eliminated. And I'm like, first of all, I knew she was young and not young, but new, because she should have found like a penalty for me, like talking back, right? But I sat there on the field for about 20 seconds arguing the call, and there was no penalty thrown. So that kind of tells you that she was in training as it is. But when you got 3 guys in the dead box with all standing there going, this is what they called me for, this, and there's nothing, there's just spray, all their shit. I'm like, this isn't a hyperball, or sorry, this isn't like speedball. Like, we don't get spray like this, rub or anything like that. So it's kind of a shitty outcome, and that cost that game because we were up on bodies. We loaded the snake side. We were fine. And then you pull 3 guys off the field within a matter of about 20 seconds. It's like, okay, this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
So, but I actually had a lot of fun at that event for not doing like amazingly well. Like, I had a lot of fun at that event.
Yeah, I shot a lot of fucking paint, man.
Yeah. I honestly shot a bit more. I still rocked the 45, but there was 2 points when I played the full hyperball field in the snake corner that I shot 4 pots of paint. I'm like, damn, dude, that's a lot for me.
Yeah.
But I also ran the point 10.5 minutes. So that's what I looked at. I think in my head, I was like, man, we're at like 10 minutes. I'm like, click. And I'm like, it's a 3-on-3 situation. I think Kevin's kind of in the home. You're up in like the right 30. I'm in the back left. Yeah. They have a guy in the snake 3, a guy in the back left, guy in the back right. I know this clock is fucking burnt down. And we're playing Annihilators, I think. I think Annihilators, or I think so.
We played Annihilators on hybrid on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
This was against we tied Brimstone.
Okay, Brimstone. That's who it was.
Yeah.
It was Brimstone. So anyways, they had a guy in the back left, guy in the back right, and a guy in the snake 3. And mind you, this snake is fucking long.
Yeah.
This has like 8 or 9 knuckles. It is huge. So I look at Kevin. I'm like, Kevin, we're getting low on time. I have to launch. He's like, all right. I'm like, I'm going to launch on the inside and see what I can do. So mind you, I run from the back left all the way down the inside. And I'm running. I'm like, and I'm counting the knuckles as I'm running by. I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 knuckles on my side. So I count all those. Finally, I get to his knuckle, dunk his ass. He's on the outside. Don't know how I made it clean. Like, never got shot at. Ran all the way down. Get to his back left. He just sees me on the outside. He's protecting a snake guy, which obviously YOLO didn't do that well.
Yeah.
And sees me. And then I literally thought about jumping to the outside of the bunker because that's where he was. and he jumps to the inside, and I'm like, well, here we are. Boom, 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 and I melt him, and he fucking misses every shot like on me. And I go to spin to shoot the back right guy to get a 3-piece. He fucking blazes me. I'm like, or the same guy shoots me. I'm like, it was technically way after I shot him, but it wasn't really a spin because he was looking at me and shot every shot, but I was fucking beaming him like a 5-footer from the bunker. So he was just missing all his fucking shots. So as I go to turn, he begins to shoot me in the side. So I'm like, ref's like, it's too close to the bang bang. So they pull us both out. I'm thinking, I'm like, all right, cool. It's a 2-on-1. We should be fine. You went to go around the outside.
I took too big of a bite. Yeah, I thought I was like, I thought he was going to be still shooting at you because as soon as you made your move, I basically moved too because I was like, I'm assuming it did pull the corner guy to shoot at you as well. I should have stopped the one bunker earlier and at least gun fought him. I just was like, I think I can squeeze this one more out, and he just caught me in transition. But the way I looked at it, I was like, Kevin and him are literally cross field, and I knew time was low. Also, I was like, this is probably going to stalemate now. Like. And it did. And
that's what happened. You got down to a 1-on-1 and it burnt clock out. So it kind of sucks, but it's kind of is what it is. And then the last point we had to win pretty big.
Because for some crazy reason we could have still went on, which is bananas.
So we could have moved on, and we were down on bodies, and they played us just better. We lost flat out, but it's hard to say that when two of the pros come up to you like and tell you blatantly that they cheated, like obvious. You know, it's like I mean, you fucking hate to hear that. It's like you're cheating versus dudes who haven't played any kind of like competitive paintball. Like there's guys we played with this weekend. There's like 3 or 4 of them that haven't played competitive paintball in like years.
Yeah, like 10 years.
Yeah, it's like you're having to cheat versus D5 and 4 dudes and struggle wins out. Like that's fucking sad.
Yeah.
I think they had Hussein from NYX, his brother, and then they had Smoltrov.
Yep.
Me and Smoltrov loaded the snake. We're battling each other in the snake for a while. And we get down on bodies, whatever. And I get clipped, I think from like the left 50 or something. So I like walk off. And I only had like 2 of us left versus like 6 of them. So it wasn't looking really good. And I'm walking back to the dead box. We're all in the dead box sitting. And then I see Hussein launch from the center 50. And and Kevin's in the home and Jamie's in the back left. And I hear Kevin say, cross. So Jamie looks back to the inside, and this guy just stands up from the center 50. Jamie is shooting him the whole fucking way. He's coming to get Kevin, and he is screaming, he fucking hit.
And it's a good 20
and he is still, he's still coming. So Jamie's ref is running to go pull like this guy out before he can get Kevin. He runs over, dunks Kevin in the back of the head, comes up, covered in paint. Jamie's still fucking shooting him, shoots Jamie too. And I'm like, and the ref's like, whoa. I'm like, what in the fuck? So I just get my gun, step right out of the dead box. And mind you, at this point, I'm only like 4 foot away from the guy. I'm like standing right next to him. I just literally put my shit right inside of his neck. I'm like, and I just put like literally like 6 or 7 in his face and like 4 or 5 in his neck, like in his mouth. And he turns, he's like, what the fuck, dude? And I'm like, what do you mean, what the fuck? He's like, oh, shot the other guy one time. I said, it's not about you shooting them. It's about you obviously cheating like a fucking bitch. And like you got blazed, you got mad, you keep coming, you're covered in fucking paint. Bunker one of my guys and then shoot the other one. Like, I'm not just gonna stand here and let that happen. Are you fucking crazy? So he's like yelling about like me shooting, you know, and they obviously throw a major on me, throw a major on him, obviously. And I'm yelling for a double major on him because he was dead, ran up, shot my guy, should have been a major, turns, shoots another guy, and eliminates both my players. That's a double major. Like you know what I mean? So anyways, I'm arguing that. And there's a dude, one of their NYX guys, I believe, up in the net way behind us. I'm sure you were in the dead box with us, right?
I was with you. Yeah, this is guy who pissed me off more than anybody else.
Yeah. There's a guy way up above us in the net, like overlooking the game. And he yells, he's like, get in the fucking dead box, dumbasses. And I turn around and I said, who the fuck are you? And he said, they make them 100 meters wide so you could get in fucking side of them. I said, shut your fucking mouth, pussy. And he shut his fucking mouth. He literally asked me, he turned around, put his head down and walked the fuck away.
When we walked off the field, I was like, I wonder where this guy is. And he's the only person I'm really looking for because I was just curious. I wanted to see where he was standing. I couldn't fucking find him.
No, gone. I literally turned around and I'm like, I said, shut your fucking mouth, pussy. He's like, mouth down, head down, turn, walked right away. I'm like, yeah, get the fuck out of here.
So before you even shot at him from the dead box, when I got hit out, I mean, it was probably midway through the game. Me and you probably died about the same time.
Yeah.
Like there was a decent number of people in the dead box, but it wasn't everybody. And the ref came to me and was like, "Hey, you got to put your barrel cone on and put your gun on the ground." And Daniel said the same thing. And I was like, "That's weird." And then I was like, "No one ever said anything to you." But I was like, I wondered if someone had already shot from the dead box. I don't know what the fuck that was about. Like maybe the game before. I don't think it was any.
I'm sure it happens all the time.
Oh, I'm sure it, especially 100%. That event. But I was just like, that's weird. And I was like, the only game I was told that was the game fucking Wes roasted the dude after like he ran on through. I'm like, the odds of that are fucking funny.
Yeah.
What was Jamie told me something. So I didn't know this, and I don't know if you can confirm, and I don't know how much Truesdale listens to these, but apparently he got shot off break like really early on both days on Sunday.
Who did?
Truesdale.
Oh, yeah.
Jamie said he basically got killed off break both games.
Yeah, he's like, motherfucker, man. He walked off this, like, he walked at me. I'm like, how do you keep getting shot on the break on mounts? This field's a fucking ginormous. I'm like, God damn it, dude. I didn't get shot off break, but I got hit on the fucking knee that first game. Oh, and that shit bounced bigger than shit, or broke bigger than shit, but I kneeled down on it, and I was thinking we would have lost fucking 4 guys off break, but yeah,
I got away with that one. I was like, at least give us a fucking fighting chance here.
Yeah, I'm like, how do they just shoot 4 of us on the break? Like, this is wild.
I think they all just shot in the center because like everyone on my side of things was like, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where I'm going. And I'm like,
they kept coming up to us talking throughout the whole match. Throughout the day, and he's like, "Oh, we walked this really good yesterday, and we kind of figured out a lot of the lanes and drop shots on the field." Like, I'm like, imagine walking a mounds field, like, but this is their shit. Like, you know, what I mean, this is like us not walking a field and randomly showing to a tournament and playing. So I understand, but I'm like, these dudes knew the shots, knew the drop shots, knew because at the games, you guys. Like Daniel and them got shot in the bunker. They're like, I'm in the fucking dirt pile. I got shot. They know where the drop shot is on it. So you could be technically behind it, but they know where to shoot over into the brush to fucking kill you.
Yeah.
So, but it was a great weekend though.
Oh yeah. The mound field was my least favorite. It was fun. I would 100% play it again, but I could go to one of those tournaments. And the hybrid and the hybrid.
See, I think you would love like the CFOA field that had that huge woods ball field.
See, that would be fun for me too.
See, that was fucking that was so fun because I haven't played woods ball in forever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's 10-on-10 competitive woods ball. I'm like, this is kind of rowdy. I'm like, this is wild.
I mean, your dad's woods ball field was always fun to like hop in after like not play it in a couple months and go out there. You're like, oh shit, this is like why we play paint. You know what I mean?
Stacks of like you're crawling through the brush, you got stacks of wood, you're hiding behind trees. It's fun. It's fun.
It's a different game too. Like, you know what I
mean? It's like competitive, but it's not, if that makes sense.
We were playing against people that are good. Like it's different than going playing
and beating the fuck out of rec ball players.
Yeah, which I will say this, it's fun when they let you get outnumbered, when you're allowed to play like 7 or 8 guys versus like 20. Yes, then it's like, okay, this is cool because this actually is challenging because there's a fucking mass number of people. Like, I want to take you. I need to see if they'll do it again. They would do these pump meets up at Classic, which what is that, Bandit Land now? I think.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
I think so. But they would do that.
They were doing them in Jacksonville. Me and you talked about going.
Yep.
But now that field's gone now.
That's gone.
Yeah.
But the one up at Bandit Land was like, it was like me, Rowan, Taylor Parker, a couple other like older guys I knew from like GFOA, but like just faces I had seen, and like Can like us went. It was like 15 of us, and at the end of the day, like they let us play against the Reynolds, but it was respawn. And it was like I said, 15, maybe 20 pump guys versus like 40 or 50 Reynolds. And I'm sitting there, I was thinking, fuck, I was like, this is going to be very tough. And we literally had them pushed back to their base, but you could just respawn. And I'm sitting there going, I'm running out of paint. I just shot 500 rounds with a fucking pump. I was like, my arms are fucking exhausted.
Yeah.
I can't shoot any more people. And finally they ended up technically beating us because everyone was like, I'm out of paint. Like when I get shot, I'm leaving and I'm not going to like sit in the base I can't come back. Like that's it. And I was like, it was one of the most, that tournament, not tournament, but that like pump meet was one of the most fun times I've ever had playing paintball. I was like, I
would like to do one scenario event this year. I want to do a big one. Everybody keeps going, you know, the Battlefield Orlando. It's like 200 on 200 or 300. I want to do something bigger, like a 500 on 500, something big.
Yeah.
Because the ones I'm used to, we were playing 1,000 on 1,000 or 2,000 on 2,000, like huge ones, you know, like D-Day and stuff like that. I want to go play one of those in the whole season somewhere.
Yeah.
Because and just go bullshit, take the cockers or now the neck guns and just have a fucking blast. Because you can just, we were having a good time.
I think everybody enjoyed it. We need to look at it's in April, so it's probably timing isn't good, but it's at Gator Paintball. So it's down there in Tampa, and me and your brother and Gordon and Can did it. And it wasn't like 500 on 500. It was small. It was like 200 on 200. But we had a lot of fun because they kind of we would do it at your dad's field with like the night games where they open all the fields and make one gigantic field. And they like would change the airball bunkers around. But it was a good 40 acres. Like the field itself was massive. And they had like bunkers everywhere, but they had like I think it was a quarry pit, kind of like where we played at Tiki's down there. Yeah. And it was like we got to the spot where me and your brother and a group of us were like standing on one side and the enemy team's on the other side, and it's a fucking empty pit. And both teams are just looking at each other like, who the fuck is going to be the brave motherfuckers to try to run through this? And like both teams kind of like walked forward. It was like playing like you see Risk, where like people kind of like push.
Civil War.
Yeah, everyone was moving like this, just staying out of each other's range. And finally, the other team backed up and they let us take it. And I thought they were gonna be hiding in like the wood line up there, but they backed way the fuck off and like basically gave it to us. And I was like, I thought this was gonna be a fucking fight. They like get across this, and they literally, and we held it the rest of the fucking weekend. I was like, you dumbasses, like,
yeah.
And it was just we could funnel through around to their base the whole fucking time. But I'll have to look at some scenarios. That was at Gator. I've never been.
Jamie mentioned the Battlefield Orlando or something like that. And I thought he said either 200 on 200 or 400 on 400. But I know there's another one called Dreaded Legends that is in Florida somewhere that a lot of the guys go to. That's supposed to be decent now. So
I'll look around this week.
I really wanted to go do the Chicago one that everybody went to every year forever.
Yeah, was that Legends?
Yeah. I always wanted to go to that, and I did D-Day twice, and I never did haven't Fold a Gap. I heard Fold a Gap's wild, but that's always at Cup time.
Yeah, that's in North Carolina, right?
No, it's like Pittsburgh or something like that. Something like that up there. But they said that one's like 1,000 on 1,000 or 1,200 on 1,200. But again, that's always that's like same weekend or two a Cup is. It's right there. But there was another one back in the day called Skirmish. And that was up there as well, but same place. And that was supposed to be the biggest one. It was like that in D-Day every year. It's like 1,500 on 1,500, like right around the same size. But something like that would be fucking dope to go to and just go and just have a blast. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I'm trying to think. So let me look at here. So I'm looking at MVPS. No teams I lie. La Familia took 4th and Shenanigans took 2nd in D4X. Those are the only people I recognize. Other than that, it was kind of, I didn't look at the players. There could be players. No one.
D4X looked like low-key like weak. Like that whole like division looked weak.
I thought so too. Trying to see. Yeah, a lot of the people that I know, the teams that I expected to do well did not do as well as I thought. Just trying to see something here. Oh, I gotta be logged in. My password's not saved now because these fucking computers. So yeah, you didn't get to play with my cocker. I think you were worried about that fucking detent falling off on you because I was fucking worried about that son of a bitch falling off on me. But you shot it.
We also had a set it, and I didn't want to switch tanks either.
Oh, that's true too.
I didn't want to unscrew your tank and then put that tank on there. And I was like, man, I don't want to mess with the regulators right now. So I didn't want to fuck with it. And I also wanted to get my cocker out. And Dan was like, yeah, I'll shoot it. And then I got it thinking like my cocker's like fucking pristine, and I didn't want to get it scratched up or anything out there. Like if I want to scratch it up, I'm gonna scratch it up. Like I'm gonna fuck it up. I don't want nobody fucking that gun.
There's very few people like
you cannot let Jamie.
I will let you play with my guns because I know you take care of them. Jamie Fowler treats every gun like it's his no matter what. So you know that's what you're getting.
But like, he doesn't lie to you. That's hey, you gonna let me use this? All right, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw that bitch in the dirt.
Thing up.
So because that's what I was like, I'll let you do it and I'll let Shane do it because Shane takes pretty good care of shit too. But everyone else was like, damn, this cocker makes me nervous. Like, because Jamie, I had said to him, you'll use it. And I was like, actually, no, you won't because that detent is going to come off and it'll come off with how you play. Like, I would literally, every other game I had to turn it by hand. Like, I just kept hand tightening it. But this past weekend, I put some blue Loctite on there because I put Teflon, but I didn't like I could see the Teflon tape. And I was trying to like get it. I was like, I had it really close, but I was like, let me just peel that off. Put some blue Loctite on here because I don't want to see that. But I almost was going to swap the detent because I have another detent that is really similar, but it's the this one, the one they gave me is like almost round, so it was really hard to put on there without like scratching it. So I was going to put one that I could put actually like a wrench on there. that I had from years ago, but it wasn't dust black, it was gloss black, and it kind of was driving me nuts. And I was like, oh, that piece of gloss on the gun right there is annoying. So I put the other one back.
They make a half moon one that has an Allen wrench in the back of it that you can stick in there. Yeah, I've seen those. Those are very old. But it's like a half moon and it goes all the way in flush.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it has an Allen wrench head on the backside, so you can just screw it in.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah. So
I'm trying to think. So what we got?
What's your thoughts on the TM40s with the mechs?
Fucking bananas.
Yeah, you hear Kevin was ripping.
I was gonna say that we were talking about that. So when we were in the Deadbox that last game where you were shooting, I think I did it a few times, but every time it just it was crazy. Kevin, dude, he had to be shooting 14, 15 balls a second.
Oh yeah,
that was fucking wild. Like you would just hear it. It's like someone would tell Kevin to like switch sides, and you hear just like a pause. Like he'd be shooting normal, and you hear like a pause, and you hear him like when he would go to like take a side, he didn't know what people were. It was just like a fucking machine gun. And I was like, God dang! Like I thought I was probably getting on the cocker, probably 10 balls. Like I was pretty respectful. I was proud of it. And then I hear Kevin, and I'm like, I'm so fucking slow. Like I need to be able to do that. Like that's what I fucking need.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was insane. Why is there a rule against using those?
No.
Why hasn't anybody done it yet?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because that's fast as fuck. Even if you're only getting that, I mean, I don't know. Kevin was pretty consistent.
Yeah, like our guns, I had to shoot a little bit slower at times because I would be out shooting the control.
Yeah.
So I could only maintain about 10 to 11, and I would outshoot the control. Like if I ramped it hard, I'm like, and I gave Jamie, because I would trust myself shooting the gun with a slower hopper than I would give Jamie, because Jamie doesn't have any self-control.
Yeah.
So I put the rotor on his gun on that CS2 mech and let him beam it, and I could hear him back there. He was feathering it.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, all right, yeah, do your thing. See, he doesn't have any self-control, because if he would have had the fucking control in there, it would have blended paint.
He'd be like, this thing's a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, I've been like, so I have to set his gun up so it would shoot just fine without problems, and I'll just worry about my own. You know what I mean?
Like, well, it's the same. I heard Shane hop on that fucking EMEC, and so that EMEC,
I was walking that thing for a second.
That thing is fucking money.
That
trigger spring, it's from a Tipman Tech T trigger for a Tipman 98 or an A5 I had laying around, and I was like squeezing them. I was like, oh, that spring is like just enough to return the trigger. Like it doesn't do anything other than that. So it's like literally, and that trigger frame is just big enough, and that trigger is a little longer than the stock trigger. Yeah. And I was like, when I shot it, I was like, man, I'm using this cocker because I've waited fucking half my life, I feel like, for it. But boy, if I wanted to shoot fast, that fucking EMEC is where it is. And now that like I finally got it fixed, like Shane said he didn't have a problem with it all weekend. And I was like, okay, good. Like I was 98% sure it was like 100%. Like I was like, there's a slim possibility it has some issues, but it's also that Deadly Winds hair valve in it too, which helps. I think all the resets. I mean, that gun, I saw someone the other night for like $600. And I was like, I think I had like $200 in that damn thing. I was like, those are fucking ridiculous. I'd like to put a body kit on it, one of the Inceptions ones. I'm hoping I can find someone, because I was like, oh, a metal body kit on that gun would like, it looks fine. Like it, now that I got rid of all the pink and bullshit, that gun actually looks decent, but I was like, it would look just that much better with like a cool body on it. So I might do that. It just depends. I don't know yet. I gotta find my Lux. I was looking for it the other day, and I don't know where the fuck I set it because I got shit all over the fucking place. Yeah. Trying to think. So we talked about that. We talked a little about ICPL. What about Drunk Shane?
Yikes. He was drunk in a matter of like 30 minutes.
He was. Well, when Jamie bought it, he was like, don't do what you want to do, because he was the whole car ride. I can drink a lot of liquor. Jamie's like, you probably can, just not a lot of my liquor. Like, and the worst part was
because that Kappa is like either 100 or 110 proof.
Yeah, I think it was 100.
Yeah.
But Jamie was like, kept telling him, and he was on his ass. So that night, I don't know if you know this, so we put his ass to bed. I literally gave him like a couple puke bags, and I said, if you fucking throw open my tent, you better get it in this bag. At least make a half-ass attempt. I get if you miss it, whatever, we'll figure that out, but make an attempt. Well, somehow he didn't throw up again, which was fucking beyond me. But he got up in the middle of the night. He stands up to take a piss. He falls onto my air mattress from his cot to me, and he just goes, I think I'm just going to lay here now. I go, the fuck you are. Get up and go pee and come back. So he stumbles out the tent, about fell into your dad's tent. I hear your dad giggle. Then he came back in and he goes, who else is sleeping in here with us? I said, no, it's just me and you. He goes, what's the cot here for? I said, that's where you're fucking sleeping. You're not sleeping in my goddamn bed. So he finally, like, he wanted to not lay down with me. I think he just was like assuming, hey, there's a mattress. It fits two people. Why the fuck do I want to be on that little thing when I can be here? But I was like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, I know you're drunk, but come on.
Good God.
Yeah. What about the new ugly carbon mask?
That thing is fucking awful.
I knew we'd agree. I could throw that out. We haven't talked about that at all. I saw that when I saw carbon mask. Like, oh, this will probably look decent. And I saw it and I was like, oh, good Lord. What
all of carbon stuff looks so badass. That mask is fucking wretched. It looks bad.
Yeah. Now,
it looks foul. Like,
yeah, it really does. Are they trying to think of the way to phrase this? I guess there's one way. And that's not like, is that supposed to be like a high end thing, or is that like a mid range?
There's two. There's a tournament one and a field mask. And the tournament one looks just as shitty.
Yeah, it does.
It's shit, dude.
The things on the mouth to me reminded me of like zip ties, where someone like pulled them and like cut the zip ties. Like that's what it looked like when I first saw it, and I was like, ooh, that is a fucking terrible mask. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I was going to show you the thing with my cocker, but I don't know where the fuck I put it. So I'm not going to do that. Well, did you have anything else, good sir? We've been going about 35 minutes.
Well, that's about it, really, man.
Well, I'm glad we're back. That was a pain. I'm glad Daniel's doing a podcast, just in case we don't upload. It makes me feel like not as guilty.
Yeah.
Because I was like, at least everybody around here gets something to listen to. So when I saw that, I didn't know it was Daniel at first until I saw. Well,
you probably didn't know it was Daniel because the audio quality sounds like they're fucking recording in a chicken coop.
They are recording in a chicken coop. The audio is not near as good as us. I told Daniel, I said, if you need help with anything, just let me know. I'm more than welcome to let you help you and show you what to do. I mean, ours isn't the best, but ours is decent.
Ours is pretty good.
Yeah. But I saw Dylan like it, and I was like, oh, like that's a cool name for a podcast. I'm about it. And then I liked the page. I think I liked it with our podcast page too. And then a couple days later, I saw like them post a selfie, and I was like, is that Daniel, Arthur, and Jamie? I said, which one of these sons of bitches doing a podcast? Like, good, because now if I don't put out an episode, I don't feel like a piece of shit. But like, and I figured out it was Daniel. I was like, well, here, do this. This will sound better that way. This will sound better that way.
Yeah.
So hopefully they can do something, because it does take a little pressure off me.
Oh yeah,
this
for
is
sure.
Fucking busy. But yeah. So I guess I'll take us out of here, since it's been 3 weeks since I've done that.
Yep.
But thanks for listening, watching. Buy merch, not buy merch. I don't think anyone's bought merch. Our views have been down, but that's expected because we have not put shit out in 2 weeks, and I think 2 weeks before that were 2 re-uploads. Yeah. So we'll catch you guys on the next one, and we plan to be back unless something wild happens. We'll let you know. Later, guys.
Later.